Hello and welcome to this Warhammer 40k Christmas Cup Part 1 video with me, Mark, from the Xenovids channel. And we have here today...
I'm Ian. Hello.
I'm Ian. Hello. So, the Christmas Cup is upon us. Part 1 video, here it is. So what are we going to do? We're going to talk about how we're going to video the actual tournament. We're going to talk about the rules for the tournament. We're going to do the exciting draw for the tournament. Then we're going to have a look at the army lists as we go through the draw. So, how are we going to film it? So part 2 video will be obviously filmed with a camera, the way you looked at me. Part 2 will be filmed in kind of a montage. We have
seven games.
Seven games in total. We've got 6 games before the final. That would be a hell of a lot of hours before Christmas. So what we're going to do, games, all the first round games and the 2 semi-final games will be filmed in a condensed version. We'll be doing a top and tail of the movement, psychic, shooting and assault phases when they come up. So it'll be quite quick, short videos about how each game is doing, and we'll go through when it is those battles, what the point score is at the end of each turn, and who wins, and then they go through to the next round. So for example, if it's Eldar versus Tyranids, we'll do, and it's Eldar gets the first turn, we'll do Eldar's turn 1 movement, psychic, shooting, assault, and then it'll be Tyranids movement, psychic, shooting and assault, and then their turn 2, and so on and so forth, and then we'll go through all the games that way, and that will be part 2. And then part 3 will be a full-length battle report like we normally do, and will feature the trophy and the trophy giving away ceremony thing. And so part 3 is our normal kind of battle, full-length banter, and we're going to be absolutely exhausted. We're starting at like what we could say, 8 AM or something silly like that. 8 AM, yeah. The morning of the 23rd, and it's going to go literally, I've worked out, if we do 12 minutes per turn, that'll be 12 solid hours of filming just the first 6. And then if we want to continue to the final in the early hours of Christmas Eve, we're probably going to do that. I mean, a few weeks ago I did The Hobbit, and I had the whole day off work, so I did all 3 Lord of the Rings, and then all 3 Hobbits. So it is doable. You are shattered the next day.
If you haven't seen it, go and watch it.
The Hobbit, that is.
Yeah, it's good. Very good.
You are one of the dwarves. Dane, was it?
I'm Dane. Apparently. So that's what we're filming. How we're filming, all the rules. So each game will have 2 opponents, obviously.
Yep.
And have one and the other. So I've got Hat of Mark's put some tokens in here.
And you've done the same in this one.
So I'm going to draw out Mark's armies. He's going to draw out my armies. So for the first round, it's going to be crazy. Then in the semi-finals, if all of Mark's go through, whatever I draw out, I'll be playing as, whatever he draws out, he'll be playing as. However, if there's 2 of mine and 2 of his, again we'll do the same as we're doing here.
The actual
the missions.
The missions.
The missions. Okay, so we normally play a kill points with a bit of a difference, so we're keeping that theme. The
reason we do that is because generally we found with the objective-based games, my lists always tend to be good for objective-based games, but kill point games. Ian's list. He loves killing things.
So we've kind of merged them together, give it a fairly balanced game. Just a heads up, last year when we played each other, we actually drew our game. So yeah. it all ended up being how well we did against the other player.
Yeah.
I think you beat me by a point.
Yeah.
1 point.
Very.
So it's going to be kill points, but it's going to be with objectives. Now the objectives, we will have 6 objectives: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 7. Minus 1, 6. Just playing. 1 to 6. Each turn we will roll a dice. Now that objective represented by the number on the dice, will be worth the amount of turn number it is. So for instance, if it's turn 3 and you roll a dice, you get number 4, objective number 4 will be worth 3 points. All other objectives throughout the whole game are worth 1 point each round. So
each round or the end of the game. So say it was the end of turn 1 and I had 2 objectives but you had 3, would you get 3 points to mark down, or is it by the end of that game? Question for you.
Okay, previously we have done it that special objectives were accumulative, so you could get them throughout the game. However, I don't know.
Should we do it at the end?
We'll do it at the end.
Because you can get a bonus one in-game.
So the in-game bonus is the one, say for instance, objective 4 would be worth 3 points in turn 3. But each turn it could change, so there's still quite a lot of importance on the objectives. So we're going to limit them to turn 5 anyway. So if there is a draw, then we'll.
So there's essentially 3 primary objectives and then secondary objectives of normal parameters. So the primary objectives are kill points. You have your special objective, which is stated when it's the start of the turn. You roll a dice, then whatever dice number you get, say a number 4, that objective is worth the turn number. The third one is at the end of the game,
any other
if you hold any of the objectives, which kind of means Battleforged Army are going to have an advantage.
Yeah.
So you get a point for each of those. Secondary objectives, obviously, like Slay the Warlord,
yeah,
Line Breaker and all that are still apply. So lots of points potentially in this game.
If there is a draw, we will just continue on to turn 6 or turn 7 until there isn't a draw, basically. Yeah. So that's how all 7 games are going to go. So round 1, round semi-finals, and then the finals are all going to be that same setup.
In regard to the armies, it's a rule we have had for the last 4 or however many years we've been doing it. We never tell each other the armies. So there's always a surprise, generally, when we do these. Last year your surprise was you brought 6 lists and you randomly chose them.
I didn't even know what I was bringing last year. I'd written the lists about a month beforehand, put them in envelopes, shuffled them up, then numbered them 1 to 6, and then got out the car at Warhammer World, rolled the dice, and I think it was number 3 or something, and that's the list I took. So that was quite random.
So we just never tell each other what we do, which is interesting. So this could be quite cool. So in this hat that I have are all your armies,
and I obviously know which counter represents which army, and in this one are yours.
Okay, so I'll let you go first.
Me going first. So game number 1. Game number 1, we have. I want this one in game number 1. The black counter. The black counter represents what army?
Tyranids.
Tyranids. Oh dear.
That's game number 1, the reigning champions of our Battle League. Okay, so give it a shuffle.
I'm nervous now.
I think I want this one.
Oh,
Cream?
that is Dark Angels.
Ooh.
Now, brief disclaimer: the Dark Angels are a borrowed army from another player.
What? Oh, so let's that's crazy. So without further ado, let's have a look at the Tyranids and Dark Angels list and see how deadly they are.
Game 1, Team 1, Tyranids. Just a quick sweep of what's what, and then we'll focus in on what everybody has. Should we start at the back?
I'll run through the list.
Okay.
So it's 9 monstrous creatures, if it looks like. Is it 9 or 8? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
9.
So, my HQs, 2 winged tyrants. Both of them have 2 sets of twin link devour brain leech worms. So that's the standard loadout I normally do. Then I've got a Toxicrin and a Venom Throat for my elite section. For the troops, I have 30 Termagants and 30 Homagons. I also have a Tervigon and 3 warriors. I don't have any fast attacks.
Are any of them upgraded?
Not the warriors.
As in any of the troops?
No. Bog standard.
No fast attack?
No fast attack, but in the heavy support, 3 Carnifexes, all with 2 sets of twin link devourer brain leech worms.
No.
Then I have a Morlock and an Exocrine, making it a 2,000 just under 2,000 points, and it is a battle forged, sort of bound. What's what I'm saying? Bound Tyranids list. So my troops hopefully can trump yours if you don't have one. A bound army. So there it is. Standard loadout that I normally bring. A load of gaunts and a load of monsters, and that's my Tyranids. Here we have the Dark Angels. So if you want to go through your list, HQs down to heavy.
Yeah. So starting with Belial in the centre here, swords bent, really annoying.
Fine cast or fail cast.
So Belial, he's kitted out with what he has to come with. Next to him I've got a Librarian, Psychic level 2. Hello. And then I have, that's all my HQs. Then I have no elites, as Belial makes Terminator's troop choices, which is quite nice. So I have 4 troop choices. The first of which is a 10-man squad behind Belial. 8 Thunderhammer Storm Shields and 2 with just regular Power Fists.
Wow.
The likelihood is Belial is joining them.
Oh, Thunderhammer Storm Shield. Love Thunderhammer Storm Shields. And you've got these wings on them, which are kind of cool. Cool conversion. Then?
So then we have 2 more squads of Deathwing Terminators. One squad does have an assault cannon in though. The other squad is just Thunderhammer Storm Shields. So the one with the assault cannon, there's 3 Thunderhammer Storm Shields, assault cannon, and one with a Power Fist or something. Then we have a tactical squad. Tactical squad has lots of plasma. It has a plasma cannon in there, a guy with a plasma gun, and the sergeant has a plasma pistol as well. Everything else is just bolters. Next we have fast attack, so my bike squad. 3 bikers, a sergeant, and a attack bike, and the attack bike has a multi-melter, I think it is. Yes, the attack bike has a multi-melter. There is also a plasma gun in there as well. And lastly, we go on to the heavy support. I have 2 land speeder vengeances. They have the plasma storm battery, which can shoot various shots, and they've both got the assault cannon on there as well.
See, I have no idea what these are. So I've never seen them fielded. Okay, so that's your Dark Angels. It's going to be very interesting.
That is the game 1. You've just seen the armies for game 1.
Interesting.
Very interesting. So let's go to game 2. I drew first for game 1, so you can draw for game 2. This one is
purple.
Obviously, it's going to be my barbarians.
Barbarians!
Barbarians are coming to play.
Oh no, I think I know what list you're bringing. I think, have I got an army that's Yeah, I've got like one army that's really good against vehicles.
Okay, is it going to be this army though?
Fingers crossed.
It's stuck in the bottom.
Hello. Hello.
This is light blue.
It's not the army that's good against vehicles.
Light blue represents what?
Light blue represents Space Wolves.
Which is quite fitting as it's Space Wolves.
And as you'll see, the army's a little bit different to what you've normally seen in our Battle League tournament. So let's take a look at the Barbarian army list and the Space Wolves army list. Here we have the Barbarians. The Barbarians. Oh dear. Go on then, tell us what you've got.
Okay, so at the helm we have a captain with a Thunder Hammer and Storm Shield. He also has Artificer armor, something like that.
Goody.
So yeah, he's nice.
Goody.
Onto the elites, we've got 2 dreadnoughts. They're both kitted out the same las cannon, twin-link las cannon, and they are arriving in drop pods.
Goody.
Woo, yeah. Also in the elites, we've got a squad of Thunderhammer Storm Shield Terminators. They are riding in a Land Raider.
Oh, goody.
Which is nice. Yeah. Troop choices. We have 2 5-man squads of Tactical Marines. Again, they're both kitted out the same. Now, I had to kind of redo my list last minute, like earlier today. So I can't remember what it was, but the 2 Assault Marines in the Tactical Marines armies squads are actually holding plasma cannons.
Okay.
So we'll know that in the game. Also, I have a Scout squad hiding over in the corner. They've all got sniper rifles. Yeah. Fast attack wise, we have 2 Storm Talon Gunjits.
Goody.
Which will be kitted up with the assault cannon and twin-link las cannons. Basically, they're just to support the heavy guy behind them, the Storm Raven.
Brilliant.
Twin-link multi-melters, twin-link las cannons, and just to finish off the army, 2 identical squads of Devastators, 2 las cannons and 2 plasma cannons in each.
Brilliant. Excellent. So a heavy. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Is that 8 vehicles?
8 vehicles.
3 flyers. Average armour 13, I guess. 12 or 13. That's good.
It is.
I hate you right now.
So we have your Space Wolves up next. You've said that there's not a lot of vehicle killers in this army.
Not a lot of fly killers.
Shall we dive right in?
So we have Wolf Lord.
Wolf Lord.
Runic Armour, Thunderbolf, Frost Axe and Storm Shield. We have Logan Grimnot on Storm Rider. So he's on the Chariot. Could have had him just as he is, but if you base him, put him on a base, he doesn't actually fit in there. So at the moment, I've got trepidations just using him like that. So I thought I'd bring.
Do you know what you should do?
Unit. What?
Magnetise him.
Yeah, that's what I will do eventually. So he's on Storm Rider, so he's in a Chariot, which will be interesting. Then I have 3 units of Grey Hunters, 5-man squads, just to kind of, you know, do nothing and be killed. Easy kill points, I think, really. Then I've got the Dreadnought Murderfang in a drop pod. My converted Dreadnought.
With its claws, look at
that. Then
He's in a drop pod, do you say?
Yeah. 5 Wolfguard Terminators, and they all have Thunderhammer Storm Shields. I never really field Terminators, so I thought I'd give it a go. Now I can either teleport them in or put them with a transport. So I have an option. This bad boy is the actual Storm Wolf. I've kitted it out as the gunship because I prefer that model. But it's going to be the Storm Wolf just in case I want to pop them in there as a transport. As a heavy thunder fast attack, I've got 2 land speeders. They're not the same squad. 2 separate land speeders, both with twin link multi-melters. If they can shoot, they'll be good. If not, that's some extra kill points for you. Got a Predator with twin link las cannon and las cannons on the side, and then 2 squads of long fangs, 2 las cannons and 2 missile launchers.
So the lists, as much as they're completely different, they're quite similar. However, I've got a lot more vehicle killy stuff
and
game
flyers,
and I've got 2 more flyers. Yeah,
and I don't have anything really to hurt your flyers. Most.
So interesting that we've both gone with like 5-man squads in this, and interesting that we've both gone with 2 squads. I
was hoping I was going to be going at some more infantry based because first time I'm bringing the Thunderwolf cavalry, Grimnar on his chariot as well, just to see how it is. But if you get shot down by your flyers, then you're going to get a slap in the face. So that's the Space Wolves.
Excellent. Game 3. So you've just seen game 2. Interesting.
Wow.
My turn to pick first. Game 3. Let's have a look. You've only got 2 left. This is going to be dark blue. Dark blue represents what?
Dark blue represents my brand new army. Tau.
Yeah.
Tau
I had
Empire.
a sneaking suspicion it would be Tau.
And your one?
I haven't bought Tau. That is shocking. My one.
Red? Maroon? Dark red.
Colour of...
My heart.
Well, keep going with that.
Scarlet. Maroon.
What kind of colour is that?
Blood. Corn. A Corn Chaos Army.
Corn Chaos Army.
You are loving the corn at the moment, aren't you? Look at the blood. Kill points. So, Tau, my brand new Tau, and Ian's Corn Chaos. So that'll be very interesting. We recently paid a Corn. We tried out some Corn Berserkers. Khan the Betrayer. We've realised he's actually quite good. So let's take a look at the armies.
Game 3, Team 1. Not sure how I feel about this. Tau.
Surprise!
It is a surprise. It's one of those situations where I don't know if I want to kill them. Well, obviously I want to kill them, but I don't know. What are you doing to me, boy?
I'm just tugging at your heartstrings. Okay, so in this awesome Tau army, I am using Farsight, but I'm not using a Farsight Enclave. I'm just using it from the normal codex. So as I'm doing that, I have Farsight here, accompanied by, yes, that's right, Shadow Sun. She is actually friends with him. They've got 2 gun drones and 4 bodyguards. All bodyguards have fusion and plasma weapons. No twin linked, all done. I am using Forge World models because they look cool. But they are just normal Crisis body suits. I like Shadow Sun because she can shoot separately to the unit, so that'll be quite interesting, depending on if you've got vehicles. I then have 2 sets of 12 Fire Warriors, no upgrades, and 2 Devilfish, 1 in each troop. And again, no... Oh, they've both got that your favourite upgrade, Disruption Pods.
It's a must, really.
Yeah. For the price that they are, it's a must. They're so cheap. Then I've got 3 man crisis squad. Again, each of them has a fusion and a plasma. Over in the corner, I have 2 riptides. I've named this one Jeffrey because I've equipped him with all the weapons essentially, and given him a little hat.
It's a little sunny.
You know, like samurais have straw hats sometimes. That kind of thing.
He's keeping the sun out of his eyes.
Yeah.
So you can see.
Yeah.
Even though he's got a black sun feather.
Well, you know.
Equipped it.
You know it is.
And what's the other one?
The reason he's equipped... he's just a normal riptide. They both got the ion cannon. However, Jeffrey has the upgrade that gives him Skyfire.
Cool.
Just in case. So I think this army would have been nice against your barbarian
army's
squad.
going against an army that doesn't have anything flying.
Oh, good.
I don't think.
I've got a 5-man Pathfinder squad, just because Markalites could be interesting. I've then got a single hammerhead. It's got the ion cannon though, the one you never use. I'm going to give that a go just for some large blast, again, just for fun of it. And then I've got 3 broadsides. The missiles, tactics behind them, I've got missiles and the velocity tracker, which gives them Skyfire. These are my...
So this is
like perfect.
what you're hoping to get into the next round to face barbarians.
This is perfect.
That will actually kill me. If that happens, I will just like...
Unfortunately, you're against my Space Wolves, who I think are my preferred favourites army. I just really like them at the moment, but I don't think they're going to do very well on the Space Wolves in this tournament. But yeah, that's my that's the Tau army. I've gone with a Farsight bomb, some troops to take down, to hold some objectives.
I can't believe you're taking 2 riptides. Who takes 2 riptides?
How many do you own?
4.
Okay, so that's my Tau army for game 3.
Very nice.
So here we have some Chaos Space Marines. What have we got?
Okay, leading the army tomorrow. Not
Tomorrow,
today,
yeah.
is Khan the Betrayer. I'm liking Khan at the minute. We filled him in a couple of friendlies,
He's a bit angry. He does well.
Yeah, he is hard. So he's coming along to lead the army. Now I've gone quite big troops.
Giving it a go?
Yeah, why not?
This would have been nice against my Space Wolves.
We, for you, we, in the, I think it was the
1,000 point Space Wolf Khan?
Yeah. He did quite well, but the Berserkers kind of just died.
They were his extra
too early.
wounds, to be fair.
Yeah. So what I've done is kind of decided to put a bit of a shield in front of them.
Okay.
With the Plague Marines. So I've got a squad of 12 Plague Marines, just standard kitted out. And then I've got a squad of 10 Plague Marines, and one of them has a melter in the squad of 10.
Okie dokie.
And then the 2 troops of Khorne Berserkers, they're both exactly the same. They've got the Icon of Wrath. There's 14 Khorne Berserkers in each one, and then a Berserker champion, and the champion has got a Power Fist in there as well.
Excellent.
And that's them. And then I've just got 3 tanks sitting at the side, Land Raider and 2 Laspreds. So
interesting. I haven't gone for any strength 10 super vehicle shots. I've got a lot of blasts, so they won't be too good against your vehicles. But yeah, interesting. A very close combat army, really, against the very shooty army. We were just discussing, if I got first turn, even if I was able to like drop Farsight in and kill a tank, that's like nearly 30 Khorne Berserkers that could just rip them to shreds.
that is exactly 30 Khorne Berserkers.
Well, there we go.
Well, 30 plus Khan the Betrayer.
Which is devastating. So it's going to be a very interesting one, that one. Very interesting indeed. Okie dokie, so game 4. The final
You
game.
can't see,
for
but
the
I'm holding
semis.
up 4 fingers. Alright, do it with that hand. That's easier. So the final game for the quarters, we go straight into the quarterfinals. It's not semis, is it?
Not for the same easy to find.
It's fairly obvious you've got the yellow, which I would assume would be Elder, but I could be wrong. Is it? Who is it?
Eldar. And I have a green.
Kind of camo, isn't it?
What could green be?
What could green be?
Sisters of Battle.
It could be, but it's not. It's actually...
You're just right. I can't. They can't see that.
I know, I'm going to say it in a minute.
Do you know what it begins with? The
Astra Militarum.
Astra Militarum?
AKA Imperial Guard.
Wow.
Wow.
You've got a new army.
I've got a new army. And there's no Tau on my side. You may not know this, but Mark said about 4 or 5 months ago, if I don't bring Tau, he'll buy me lunch. So I didn't bring Tau. Anyway, let's have a look at Elder versus, or the army list for Elder and Imperial Guard.
Astra Militarum.
So here we have Elder, Ian's tip for the top. I'm calling this as my my outsider to win, I reckon.
Okay. So in this outsider army, we've got the Avatar of Cain. You'll notice there are no Psychers in this Elder force. I don't care for them in the Elder. Avatar of Cain, he's got fast shot on him. He's got 2 shots on his melter. He loves a bit of, I was going to say hand action there, but PG-13. 10 Die Avengers and a Wave Serpent with Bright Lance. I've got 2 sets of Guardians with Bright Lance things there. And 2 squads of Freeman jet bikes. I have a squad of 5 Fire Dragons with a Wave Serpent with Bright Lance on top. I've got 10 Warp Spiders, a Crimson Hunter Exarch, a Wraith Knight with the shield and the sun cannon, and scatter lasers. I have a Fire Prism, no upgrades, and 5 Dark Reapers, and a balanced, objective-based, bound Eldar list of joy.
Yeah, as I said, they are Ian's tip for the top. Just looking at all the other armies, that all the other armies are strong in specific areas, but Eldar are fairly strong across the field, I think.
Quite balanced. And here we go, Astra Militarum. One army that I have also considered, but Ian beat me to it. So, let's go with the army selection. What have you got?
Okay, I've got a company command squad, this one here.
Mm-hmm.
Leading that, and the warlord, is Colonel Iron Hand Strachan.
Okay.
He's got a metal hand.
Okay.
So he's a special guy. Next to him, I've got a Lord Commissar.
Mm-hmm.
So they can give out orders and stuff. I am likely to get a lot of rules wrong and forget stuff with the Imperial Guard because they're new, so bear with me with that. Elites, I've got 2 squads of Bulgarins. 1, 2. The first squad of 6 have the Power Maul and Brute Shield.
Ooh.
And then the second squad have the Grenade Launchers and Slab Shield.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's the Slab Shield that if they're in base contact, they give like really good cover saves to everybody behind them.
Oh, okay.
So you kind of just walk up behind them. It's pretty cool. For troops choices, I went with 2 infantry platoons. So I've got 2 platoon command squads with 2 troops. In each troop, I've got a sergeant with a plasma gun, pistol. I can't remember which one, and a heavy, a flamer guy. That's the same for all 4 squads, if you like. I also have attached to each platoon a heavy weapons team with 2 las cannons and a heavy bolter in there as well. That's the same for both units. Fast attack, I have a Valkyrie, just sitting here. It's got a las cannon and 2 Hellstrike missiles. And last, I have 2 separate heavy support units, a Lehman Russ Punisher with 3 heavy flamers, 2 side sponson heavy flamers, and a hull mounted heavy flamer. That is designed for troops. And then I have a Lehman Russ Executioner with its Executioner cannon, 2 plasma cannons on the side sponson, and a heavy bolter on front.
Interesting.
That is the Astra Militarum.
I think I would have liked my Space Wolves against this army.
Yeah.
Too bad. So these Astra Militarium, lots of troops for them. So there we go. Woo! The armies. Some interesting choices there. Some dangerous choices. Now that we both know each other's armies and lists, we literally have tonight to think about tactics. Everything is here. At mine, there's nothing can be changed. There are no shops open at this moment in time, being 7:20 at night.
So they were just closing up as I walked past. Yeah.
We haven't got probably not fine, but we can't change it now. Those are the armies; they're locked in. Those are the lists, and it's going to be very interesting. So stay tuned for part 2 coming out ASAP. We're going to start with Game 1, Tyranids versus Dark Angels. Game 2, Barbarians versus Space Wolves. I didn't want that matchup. I was thinking though, I think the Space Wolves wouldn't do too good against that. I think that would be a cool...
Who knows?
What's Game 3?
Game 3 is Tau and Chaos with a Khorne kind of theme, but...
So a close combat versus shooty. And
yeah,
Game 4...
that'll be interesting. Is Eldar versus Imperial Guard Astra Militarum.
Let me state quickly... I bring a brand new army every year, and because it's a secret, I never play test the models at all. So I'm going to be learning. It would have been hilarious if it was those two against each other, because we would have Tau versus Imperial Guard. We'd have to look. I kind of play Tau when we've done our battle league, so I'm going to have to brush up on my rules. And I think Astra Militarum are quite, because they're a shooting army. I think they're going to be all right.
Okay.
So
now that you know the lists and the armies,
yeah,
your prediction for who's going to win?
Again, Space Wolves, the new models that I have for that, I need to brush up, especially on like a flying transport as well, because obviously Necrons can just teleport, and obviously I can't do that. I think Tyranids and Eldar are obviously very similar to the Battle League. We know they're both strong. Dark Angels, I always fear Terminators, and any kind of Space Marine army, because they've just got brutal things. Khorne, I think, will be very interesting. I think, though, for these preliminary 4 rounds...
It's difficult to say.
I'm hoping the Tyranids win against Dark Angels.
If Tyranids don't win, that will be a shock upset. Two times... They're reigning 2 times.
They won the...
No, because you don't bring the same army.
Space Wolves won the Christmas Cup last year. I'll be very disappointed if Space Wolves and Imperial Guard and Tau go out, purely for the fact that Space Wolves have new models in my list. Tau is a brand new army I've bought, and the Imperial Guard is a brand new army you bought. So in that respect, I hope it goes Tyranids, Space Wolves, Tau, Imperial Guard.
So 3 of
my army. But it'd be really cool if it was Dark Angels that went through as well. We've got a good mix. How many? We've got a Xeno versus Space Marine, Space Marine, Space Marine, Xeno Evil Space Marines, and then a Xeno Man. So a good mix of armies, which is brilliant. See, no doubles, so no Tau versus Tau or 2 Eldar forces. Really good. I'm really happy and really excited and a little bit nervous.
I am as well. I don't think much sleeping will be happening tonight.
No,
I'll be thinking like of tactics.
Christmas has started.
I'll just be like,
but
I could do this, or I could do this.
But when we look over it, it's like game 1. Obviously, we kind of know these armies. That'll be fun. When it gets to game 4 and 3, we're going to be shattered. That'll be like after 9 hours of gaming.
Yes, that's just what
mistakes
you
will be made, but who cares?
It's Christmas. It's part of the fun.
Thank you very much for watching. Stay tuned for part 2. We're going to go and twiddle our thumbs about what to be doing tomorrow. And please like, comment, share and subscribe. And we'll see you
very soon. Very, very soon.
Next video. Goodbye.